breaking news. The President will give a special announcement through this network about the cabinet turnover at the White House. And why is this relevant? It is simply because in the past, it's the first presidency that has such a high turnover. Upon the last 2 years, 6 of the top 12 Tier 1 officials at the White House have seen a change. And who are they? It is Reince Priebus, Chief of Staff; Kari Walsh, Deputy Chief of Staff; Sean Spicer, Press Secretary; George Sifakis, Assistant to the President and Director of Public Liaison; Michael Flynn, National Security Advisor; and Katie McFarland, Deputy National Security Advisor. On the other hand, during Obama's presidency, we only saw a turnover of an advisor from Tier 1. Greg Craig, White House Counsel, and George W. Bush saw not a single one change. So it is clear that this situation is something unheard of until today. So is the president such a toxic person that drives everyone away from him? How can the president recover the trust of the White House and of the people upon him? Is the White House broken beyond repair? We're being told that the president is ready. Good evening, Mr. President. What do you think about the current situation?
Thank you. This is going to be the greatest interview you will ever give.
Mr. President...
It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. The greatest ever, the bestest. Everybody's gonna love you. You will love it. They will love me. Cook Hillary and that Comey, they will even love me.
Mr. President, we need to move on. What do you think about the high turnover rate at the White House?
First of all, I have been the best president ever. No question asked. Anybody who says anything different is fake news. Now, I think that...
Listen up, everybody. We have just been made a question about what do we think of the turnover in the White House. I need answers. Now.
Lies. It's all a ploy, orchestrated by the liberal media and Hillary Clinton. It's fake news, man. Fake news everywhere.
Hey, calm down, extremist me. We cannot make a scene right now. It will cost us greatly.
You are fake news. We were supposed to make America great again. We were supposed to drain the swamp. MAGA! MAGA! Let's just fire them. We fire them, and then everything will be fine, alright?
As much as we would love to fire everybody, we cannot afford that right now. As Political Me said, the cost of another firing would be huge. The trust upon our White House is already as bad as it is.
Sorry, what? We have been the best president this country has ever had. How could they not trust us? We are talking about preventing damages. Even in Syria, they love us. Why do you think North Korea and South Korea are joining? Everybody loves us.
America's the only thing that matters. Let's just fire them, alright? The plan is flawless. We fire them, they're gone, we can keep it moving. Okay? And you, why are you always taking the side of Political Me? She represents the worst of us.
Believe me, you're giving him a run for his money. Let's refocus. We won't fire everybody, but we need solutions.
You know, it's not our fault they're living. It's an ideology clash. We have the best point of view and they just don't get it. Everybody loves us.
I'm tired of your foolish ideas. You're fired.
I think that the problem with my White House is a power struggle, a witch hunt, and an ideology clash. I will fix the power struggle problem by having zero tolerance policy with whistleblowers, and I will only judge people based on their results, not on rumors, not on fake news. The second problem is the witch hunt campaign that the FBI and the liberal media have against me. The solution is rather simple. I will be honest. They will find nothing on the media. They won't expose anything that's true. They only expose fake news because they are a fake news machine. Finally, there is the ideology clash. Not everybody thinks like me, which always leads to problem. Only the best of the best think like me, and so those who leave my cabinet are not worth it. They are only fake news. They do not deserve being with me.
I am certainly surprised, Mr. President. Such a structured speech is unexpected. But a part that jumped out to me was the mention of the FBI and the liberal media. Why are you mentioning that there's a witch hunt against you?
Well, it's very simple, Mr. King. I blame it all on Robert Mueller, yes.
The public has noticed that there are several clashes among you. What are you going to do about it? Will you fire him? Or will you take other actions to approach the situation?
That motherfucker. We have to fire him. He's out of line. He's biased to liberals, supporting the Democrats. I should have never let that fucking asshole into my golf club.
Hey, we all know that, but we have to be strategic about it. Half of our crew has already left us. Letting him go will just portray a bad image. We have to be smart about it.
Guys,
I'm worried about the re-election and the Democrats gaining power in Congress.
Guys, I know what to do. There must be something about him that we can denounce. Let's plot this. It will make us seem really intelligent. The police and inner city communities do this type of shit all the time.
Hey, I like that idea. If the media does that, they will just be focusing on him, and they will have no time to focus on us.
You know, the legal process of firing him is more complicated than we like it to be, so the consequences would be devastating to our image.
Fire him! Ugh. You shouldn't care what they think about us. We are America's president. We control everything.
Don't be an idiot. We cannot fire him. As business me said, we have to incriminate him.
Idiot! You're the one that's acting out of line here. We're not gonna fire him. Ha! We have to react now in this very instant. If we don't, that will be the consequence in action.
We won't fire him in an interview. Leave it all to me. Look, a decision has not been made yet. There are still too many factors to take into consideration. My team has been executing a thorough investigation on Mr. Mueller, which will allow us to shine light upon the real person that he is. The American people will agree with my decision because that will be what's best for America. I have always stated that I will make America great again, and I will make all the decisions needed to take and reach that goal, no matter the political repercussions of doing what is best, because I know what's best, and I am the best president ever, and it has been a great interview. And
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, thank you very much. Have a good night. That's all the time we've got. So there you have it. That's the perspective of the president regarding his high turnover rate. Tomorrow, same channel, same hour, we will have a special political analyst telling us what does he think about this situation. Don't forget to tune in, and we will see you tomorrow. Always trustworthy, always there, BRB Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. BRB Network, always there, always trustworthy. As promised yesterday, tonight we will have a special analysis by a political scientist. Transmitting right now live from Washington, D.C., Davin Baxter. You're on, David.
There's been a new interview that was released yesterday regarding latest inquiries into the investigation taking place against Trump, particularly regarding Mueller, the special counsel who's been investigating allegations between Trump and Russian scandals. After watching this interview, you might be pretty confused with what it is that Trump can actually do and what the government would allow him to do in practice. I don't think it's a really good idea for him to fire Mueller to begin with. I think that would be incredibly consequential on his career and could potentially be very beneficial to his political rivals. Let's actually talk about what it is that he might be thinking about in terms of dealing with Mueller as a political rival and just trying to get him out of the way, as he's done with however many political rivals of his that he's already dealt with. Firing Mueller, Mr. Trump, does not end the investigation against you. In fact, firing him would probably be devastating in a number of different unpredictable factors. One possibly being the amount of leaks that are going to follow suit as a result of you firing him, because once you fire him, there's nothing really holding him back. This is exactly what happened after Cohen was fired, and I would be rather shocked to not bear witness to the same consequence. Even if he was plotting on some kind of way to fire him, it's not going to happen off of a sheer whim. He has to conjure up a number of different good reasons under special counsel regulations in order to devise a legitimate way to get him fired. Now, what this is probably going to lead him to do is to commit to a series of very controversial actions that may just very well parallel what the Nixon scandal was all about, Watergate. At the end of the day, this could whatever Trump decides to do, it could very well benefit the Democrats and make Trump, quite possibly, the most hated man in the Republican League. That's probably not something he wants to do. But I'm going to try and step into the mind of Trump and see what kinds of maneuvers he can navigate in order to get Mueller out of his way. There are principally two questions that need to be addressed here in doing so. There's the how and then there's the why, both of which are pretty key factors here. The how spawns a plethora of difficulties in legal procedures. The why is particularly interesting because one of the only things that are going to disallow a special counsel investigator from discontinuing his investigation is misconduct, dereliction of duty, incapacity, conflict of interest, or another good cause. I believe that the conflict of interest is what Donald Trump is going to go for. And he has a couple of ways of doing this. One, he's pledged already that Mueller is biased to the Democrats and to his subscription at Trump's golf club. But coming back into the how, there are a few ways he can actually manage getting Mueller fired. A would be to fire Deputy Attorney Rosenstein, which would then either him or fire the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. Either of these cases, he would be able to appoint somebody else who is more likely to do his bidding. He could also play with the Federal Vacancies Act, bypass the Senate's and the Department of Justice's lines of succession, appoint somebody else temporarily, and then do their bidding, or do his bidding, and then pretty much as soon as the Department of Justice and the Senate got their things back in order, they'd be able to appoint somebody else, but by the time that happened, I'm pretty sure the damage would have already been done. One of the other things he could do is implement a new executive power that allows him to fire the Attorney General or a special counsel investigator directly, which would be unprecedented and very interesting in terms of the American history. And lastly, my other idea was revoke a regulation established by the special counsel, which is in the executive power complex. But nonetheless, we're sitting here only with mere ideas of what the possibilities, what sorts of possibilities can be conceived. That's pretty much it for tonight. I wish you all the best of luck, and you know, gotta say it, God bless America!
Thank you, David. Certainly an interesting point of view. BRB Network, always there, always trustworthy. We will see you tomorrow, same hours, same channel. Don't forget to tune us in. Thank you very much, and good night.